For my first example, I'm going to look at this slide that was provided by a company called Ladder of Science. Now, this is an organization that helps scientists with their professional development. And in this presentation, they used a slide comparing the ladder of science with the product development cycle. So let's have a look. On the left, we have what they call the ladder of science. And basically, this illustrates the different stages that many scientists go through in their career. At the bottom, we have the foundation, and this is where you are as a student when you first start university. Then there's the scientist level. This is where you've finished your studies, and you're now starting your first job as a scientist. And then moving up, we have senior scientist, principal scientist. So this just illustrates how you progress through your career as a scientist. And then on the right-hand side, we have the product development cycle. And here, instead of having students and scientists, we have ideas and products. This is kind of like when you're a student, and you're coming up with ideas and doing some experiments in the lab, and you're retesting these ideas. Then from the idea, we get to a minimum viable product. This is kind of like when you finish your studies and you've got your degree. That's your minimum viable product. Then we can launch this product, and hopefully it does well. And if it does well, then we can scale it up and improve it and make a more sophisticated product. And then if this product fails, we can pivot and come up with something else. So what they've done here is they've mapped these two different career stages. So being a student or a scientist is kind of like being an idea or a minimum viable product. If you want to get further and become a senior scientist, then you need to launch yourself into the next stage. And similarly, if the minimum viable product is successful, then we can think about scaling it up and making it better. Okay, so that's my first example. Now let's look at a second example. For my second example, I'm going to look at this slide from a company called TopTal. Now, TopTal is a marketplace for top talent, and they offer a variety of services, legal and web development. And in this presentation, they talk about the importance of iteration in the different stages of a business. So on the left-hand side, we have three boxers. The top one is about experimentation. The middle one is about execution. And the third one is about optimization. And then in the middle, we have three overlapping circles: strategy, operations, and technology. And they talk about how these three areas need to overlap and be in harmony with each other in order for a business to succeed. So starting out with experimentation, we need to try out a bunch of different things and fail fast and fail forward. We need to experiment with different strategies, different operations, and different technologies. And this will help us learn about our customers and about our business. Then once we've learned enough, we can start to execute on a strategy. We can put in place the operations, and we can acquire the technology that we need in order to execute on our strategy. And if we do this well, then we can optimize everything. So we can optimize our strategy, our operations, and our technology in order to make our business more efficient and more effective. Now, there's a couple of interesting things here. First of all, the fact that these three areas overlap shows how interconnected they are. So, for example, our strategy is not something that we set in stone. It is something that we need to constantly be working on and improving as we learn more about our customers and as the market changes. Similarly, our operations are not something that we set in stone. They're also something that we need to constantly be iterating on and improving. And even our technology is not something that we acquire once. We need to constantly be updating and upgrading our technology in order to stay competitive. The second thing that's interesting here is the fact that this slide uses the word optimization, which is often used in lean startup methodology. The idea is that we don't want to waste time optimizing something that's not working. So for example, if we've launched a new feature and it turns out that nobody wants it, then there is no point spending time optimizing that feature, because it is not going to make the business successful. Instead, we should spend our time experimenting with new ideas and trying to find the right thing to optimize. Alright, so those are my two examples. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below, I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you're interested in learning more about how to build a great product, I've got lots more videos available. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.